ask all our guests who would like to please be seated. We're going to get started with our ceremony. Thank you all for being here. I want to announce that we have some water in the back if anybody would like to avail themselves of that. Hand sanitizer about. Trying to stay with our social distancing. Did take off my mask to speak to you, but make sure we keep that on. So all welcome. Honored guests, family members of our graduates, distinguished faculty that are present, and Hunterdon Healthcare Family Medicine graduates of 2020. I'm David Skillage, Director of Medical Education here at Hunterdon. On behalf of myself, Patrick Gavin, our President and CEO, Dr. Robert Cody, Chairman of our Board of Trustees, all of our trustees, and all of our administration, I'd like to offer you all a very heartfelt welcome and congratulations on this very auspicious and monumental task that everybody has achieved for today. So I'll start out by saying the difference a year makes. Appropriate many times, but no more than this year. COVID has monopolized our lives, and our graduates and all of our residents and medical community certainly can attest to that. So many of our families are here that are present. Not only did you have the support to give of the graduates going through training, but this year the added worry of will they be safe, knowing that they were doing what they love and knowing that they were serving their fellow man, which is what they got into this business for. In some ways, as terrible as the COVID pandemic is, this year more than any allows our graduates to reflect on what is really important in our careers and the work that we do. And so I thought it might be fitting for all of the devastation and all of the negative connotation that COVID brings into our minds and hearts. I thought on a little bit of a twist on the letters of COVID. Just like to talk about them a little bit too. So C, I think C stands for commitment. All of our physicians and medical community had unbelievable commitment this year to identify the task in front of us and make sure that all of our patients were safe. O, for outstanding service. And our residents, and certainly under the leadership of our graduates today, gave outstanding service 24/7, kept our hospital running, guided many attendings that came in out of their comfort zone to help care for patients. V is for victorious, because all of you have been victorious. COVID is still with us, but because of your hard work, we are at an all-time low in New Jersey, and Hunterdon Healthcare has come through this as one of the best run organizations for handling this pandemic, certainly in the state. I is for inspiration. You all give us inspiration. As physicians, we give so many inspiration. And our patients and our families give inspiration back to us. And finally, D is for determination. I think this pandemic has taught all of us that determination is the most important thing, a very important trait, one that all of you know all too well, that got you here to this day. You think of all of the accomplishments you had to get, all the hurdles you had to cross to get to this day. Determination is what keeps us going, and certainly which made all of you perform outstandingly, not only through this, but through your entire residency. And so today is all about you. We're here to honor you, honor your accomplishments. Most importantly, to welcome you as fellow colleagues and attendants into our profession. And so I'll end with just saying welcome. Thank you for being here. Congratulations to everyone. Please enjoy your day. Almost remiss. My next duty would be to introduce and call up Dr. Lori Tureen Colton, who will give us some words of reflection.
So I usually give a grace before dinner, and this year being as it is, we don't get to sit down and have our meal together, but did want to begin our ceremony with some thanks. So dear Lord, what a year 2020 has been thus far. I will not lie, the words, "What were you thinking?" have come into my mind more than once, but I know this is not a question of mine to ask. And despite the challenges of this year, we come together today full of gratitude. We are grateful for this beautiful day where we can celebrate the graduation of these residents. We are grateful that they can celebrate with their friends and family with them here, something just a few weeks ago we didn't think would be possible. We are so grateful for the loved ones who are here and for those at home who have stood by them on their long journey to becoming real doctors. They lifted them up, gave them encouragement, kicked their butts when needed, and supplied unending love and support. We are grateful for the relationships you all have made in these past 3 years. Those with your fellow resident, with whom you have shared endless hours, laughter, and tears. For the attendings who guided you along your journey to becoming family physicians. And to your rocks, Risa and Rhonda, who have been everything from administrative assistants and coordinators, to stand-in moms, to therapists, to parking garage interior designers. This residency would not run without them. We are even grateful for the opportunities this terrible virus gave us to care for those who were very sick and very scared and very alone. It has been in this capacity that our abilities as family physicians have shown. Lord, please continue to watch over these new attending physicians as they continue to do the work of service for their patients. We already know they are amazing family physicians, and we pray for them to have lives full of joy and happiness and love. In your name, amen.
So next we're going to play a message from our President and CEO, Patrick Gavin.
Good afternoon. I'm Pat Gavin, CEO of Hunterdon Health System, as you all know, except for our guests today in the audience. And I want to thank you all for coming today to honor our graduates. We have an amazing, long-standing, one of the best in the country residencies at Hunterdon Health System, and this class certainly has lived up to every piece of that history. And I would be remiss if I let our graduating class this year go without just mentioning COVID-19 and all your incredible efforts to help us through as a health system, going in face-to-face with COVID, at the bedside, being hospitalists, and really pulling a huge share for the health system. So for that, we're all grateful and indebted to you, and very just thankful that we had you there to be part of the system when we needed that help. So we wish you all the best. You're all going to do great. Some of you are staying with Hunterdon. We're thrilled with that. Others are looking off to other future directions, and we wish each and every one of you the best of careers and health throughout the remainder.
And I'd like to call Dr. Luco up with me to present one of the first of several awards that we would like to present during this portion of our celebration together. So the first awards that we would like to present today, we'd like to recognize the graduating chief residents. Chief residency is one of the most challenging positions for a resident to undertake during the residency program. And our chiefs certainly did not shy away from the hard work throughout it. I think they're very fortunate that the residency as a whole, just wonderful people to work with, and everybody came together to make it easier, but it's still a pretty tough job. Our chiefs who are graduating this year are receiving chief resident plaques in grateful appreciation for your gifts of leadership, tireless effort, and long hours to the Family Medicine Residency Program of Hunterdon Medical Center. I'd like to call up Dr. Laura Anderson-Grohl and Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Bischoff. Thank you. I'd like to call a current chief resident to present the next award. So if Jessica Mason could please come up.
So the winner of this year's non-faculty Teacher of the Year award is incredibly deserving. Not only did he lead our ICU in times of COVID, as well as winning the Hunterdon Hero Award, in the process, he always made educating residents a priority. For the last few years, he's been a go-to panelist for Grand Rounds, and on a personal note, even though he couldn't make it to mine, he attempted to rearrange his OR schedule and met me outside at 7:30 in the morning to provide me with his thoughts on my talk. Between his knowledge as well as his sense of humor, we always look forward to the days when we get to round in the ICU with Dr. Piston. So overall, he has greatly enhanced our educational experience. The residents are so thankful for his teaching, and it's my honor to present him with our 2020 Teacher of the Year Award.
I'm extremely honored, thank you very much. You know, I had to fill big shoes after Dr. Golston became sick, but it was extreme pleasure, guys, to work with you, teach you. You're like sponges, you know, absorbing the knowledge. You all you turn from learners into teachers today when you graduate and you start, you know, teaching residents next academic year. But one little advice, please stay learners lifetime, and it will help you tremendously. Thank you very much, big honor.
For our next award, I'd like to call up a representative from our PGY first year class, Dr. Melissa Burke.
Good afternoon. I consider it a great honor and privilege to present the Resident Excellence in Teaching Award on behalf of myself and my fellow new PGY2s. To someone who I consider a colleague and a true friend. It is said a good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. And Albert Einstein said that it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. This resident has done all of that to us as first-year residents. Her calm voice, compassionate leadership, and steady hand has been our guide that has made us as first-year residents going into second year more confident, independent in our thought processes, and on the road to becoming phenomenal physicians as she is. We, the new second years, are now ready to be the best teachers we could possibly be to the new interns. Any other way would simply be unacceptable. With that being said, we'd like to present this award to the unbelievably fabulous Dr. Rita Sokar.
At all.
I love you, Rita!
Oh my God. I have to say, like, I had the pleasure of being taught how to teach from the graduating class. Especially Dr. Dennis Guest. I always tell everyone that I work with that I was taught how to teach from you. So, and I thank you, Mel, and I thank your class for voting for me. I don't know, I don't think I really deserve that. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
I'd like to call on a representative from the graduating class, or representatives, to present the Faculty Position Teacher of the Year Award. You can all come.
We weren't ready for this.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
All right, well, so this faculty position teacher, she means a lot to all of us. It's really hard to put into words why we even voted for this person to be faculty position teacher. I'll give you a hint, so she's always very positive, especially, I mean, she's, lights up our day every time we, are in the, residency office area. Especially this year, we thought it was most appropriate to vote for this person because, it goes without saying how much they stepped up to the plate, with COVID going on. She was really supportive to all of us when we were struggling to see patients, just like, putting in all the hours. She was really understanding about what we were all going through. It was the most appropriate year really to give this award to her. That's what I have to, do you guys have anything?
I also want to add that even though she was working 80 plus hours a week, managing schedules, rounding, seeing COVID patients herself, she was always checking in on us, making sure that we were feeling okay working, we were not burnt out, we weren't too scared, always making sure that we felt supported and cared for and loved, even though she wasn't taking care of herself as much as she should have. Class of 2020 would like to present this award to Dr. Julia Lico.
is very surprising. I don't feel like I do too much, but I'm grateful. I have to say, working with these residents is incredibly easy. Dr. Croft and I frequently comment on how lucky we are because we just have such a positive group of learners. Everyone wants to do their best. They genuinely care about their patients. They want to learn as much as they can. They're 100% committed to family medicine. So it really is just a joy to be able to work with them and to teach them. And I'm thankful for my job every day. Thank you.
Thank you. So now it is my honor to begin the more formal part of our graduation ceremony. So today's graduation ceremony, obviously it's a little different than the usual graduation ceremony. Actually, I think it's maybe a little better than the typical graduation ceremony. We got the weather that we all wanted. We're together with our families and friends and the people who are most important to us. And the words that are being spoken are so heartfelt and honestly true. And if you all hadn't said that Dr. Lugo was the faculty teacher of the year, I might have had to. Again, an amazing partner and person to work with who just always had a smile, and as Dr. Lee had said, 80 plus hours a week is probably an understatement. So we're very fortunate. So today's ceremony, a little bit different. Normally we would give each resident their diplomas or certificates individually. Today we want to do it as a stack. But as you can see, we've got lots of stacks. So lots of people really wanted to honor you and provide gifts for you. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about what's going on the tables so that at the end, you and your families will be able to safely gather and go on your way and have your celebrations at home. Probably one of the nice celebration gifts that, not necessarily on the table, but the medical staff, the Hunterdon medical staff so appreciates everything that all the residents do for them and wanted you to have graduation ceremony and celebration and have put together a gift, monetary gift for you to have your celebrations with your families. So we do want you to know about that and to enjoy a banquet type meal or however you decide to do that with your families and friends. Dr. Barter also has a special gift for each of you in these blue bags that are on the stage. And I believe she made really nice Hunterdon masks. Where do I see her? Back here, yes. So I want to make sure I have the correct gift. So I do want to make sure that you have that. Marion Chiesa. Dr. Chiesa was one of a behaviorist in our program several years back, and she also is a benefactor of the residency program, a former board member of the medical center, and she too sent a gift for each and every one of you. We'll make sure that you do receive that. Gifts on the table here. Rhonda and Risa, as we all know, really put together some beautiful gifts for each of you, and we'll make sure that you take that. And I think I've got all the general ones. The other part of this ceremony, because we have different certificates to award, we have your family medicine specialty certificates. For those of you in the osteopathic program, your osteopathic certificates, and several of you who also completed the integrative medicine and residency certificates to award. So what I'd like to do is just ask the directors of each of the separate programs just to come up and say a word or two about those programs so that your families know about the hard work that you put in. So I'll ask Dr. Lee first to come up and just talk about the osteopathic program.
congratulations to all the residents graduating today. You guys were fantastic over the past 3 years. I loved working with every one of you, the MDs and the DOs. But I do want to recognize the 3 DOs, Dr. Guest, Dr. Little, and Dr. Lee, for completing duly accredited program in the allopathic part and the osteopathic part. And briefly, the osteopathic component is combining body, mind, and spirit into a manual osteopathic medicine skill. So you will continue taking on those skills to your future professions. And it is my hope that you will continue doing manual medicine and provide alternative options for treatments. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. And I'd like Dr. Monica Meyer to come up and just say a few words as well about the integrative medicine program.
Hello and welcome everybody. It's my pleasure to be able to give certificates of completion to 5 of our graduates today who participated in the integrative medicine in residency track. This is actually a fair bit of additional work, and these residents participated in an online curriculum that was an extra 200 hours of study over the last several years. Hunterdon partners with the University of Arizona to bring this to the program. And in addition, they also had hands-on workshops here over the past 2 years of the residency. Integrative medicine is the study of complementary therapies and world health traditions along with conventional therapies that are brought together and integrated in taking care of themselves, their families, as well as their patients. So I'd like to give a special congratulations for those who have completed that. It's Dr. Dennis Guest, Dr. Lauren Bischoff, Dr. Laura Rule, Dr. Colleen Little, and Dr. Angela Lee. Very much.
So what I'd like to do is ask Dr. Luca to step up and join me. And our first 3 residents that I will call in order, not all at once, are receiving multiple certificates. And given that, if I can have Dr. Meyer and Dr. Lee just near us as well. If I could call Dr. Dennis Guest. So, Dr. Guest, hopefully you can still hear me through the mask now that we're a group. First trained at Hunterdon as a medical student from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. His background in sports medicine, emergency medical technician service, and willingness to step up and assist in any urgency really showed that he has what it takes to be a family doctor. Dennis had volunteered as a second-year resident. I think he volunteered to go to Camp Najera, where we usually send our senior residents, our PGY3 residents, to be the medical camp doctor for children with type 1 diabetes. This was the first year that we had sent a second-year resident to the camp, and he performed solidly as a senior resident. In one of his evaluations from the camp, they said, "It was great working with Dennis. He was consistently punctual, and I often had to kick him out of the health center when I felt we no longer needed him there, and it wasn't contributing to his education. We had, in my career, the first asthma attack that failed to clear despite his excellent management. His decision to send the child to the hospital was confirmed by the need for escalation of care a few hours later, and it clearly made a significant difference and for the camp, knowing that our resident, and especially our second-year resident, was very much able and ready to manage that type of medical emergency. He said in the final statement, he will be a hard act to follow. Very true. Dennis presented some regional presentations with our residency program. He presented Lancaster concussion in the adolescent athlete, and he also presented an OMT clinical camp with Dr. Lee in Cleveland. Dr. Guest is receiving his family medicine residency certificate, an osteopathic family medicine residency certificate, and an integrative medicine in residency certificate. He's standing here today with his physician honoree, Dr. Meg Eichmann. So thank you for joining us. Dr. Guest will be joining Capital Health Primary Care in Quaker Bridge, New Jersey.
He might need a helper from his family.
We might need assistance.
Actually, and we also have a gift for Riley. So.
There's too many guests.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
First of all, hug.
You can come back for we can come back for the rest at the end.
Yeah, about the thing too hard unless somebody gets it.
Yeah, they can come back for that part. Do we want to get a picture with Dennis?
Yes.
Sorry, this whole outdoor is a whole
It's
new.
Which side's better?
confusing
This
us.
side. All right. Is Dr. Eichmann back?
Oh, we lost her. Oh, get her back.
Bring her back.
Good work.
We're used to a lot of hugging during this portion, you know, so it's a little different.
Yes? Okay.
Next, we'd like to call Dr. Angela Lee. And Dr. Barter, is our physician honoree. So this is very exciting. As you know, Angela also is earning her osteopathic certificate as well as her integrative medicine. Angela is, to me, just a wonderful mix of being incredibly grounded and wildly adventuresome. You know, she has this magical journal that I'm incredibly jealous of that has like her practical life stuff, you know, what she needs to get done, and then also has her vision for her future. You know, the vision from a year from now to much further out than that. And I think it's just wonderful to have someone who's both pragmatic, but also has dreams. During her tenure here, she's been involved in many scholarly presentations. She did a presentation on osteopathic manual therapy in pregnancy, along with Dr. Michaela Lee, as well as one on addressing the crisis of racial disparities in maternal health, along with Dr. Barter, at the Family Medicine Educational Consortium. In her personal statement, she wrote, that one of her major goals was to encourage my patients to discover their fullest potential for self-care. And I think that through her residency, that ambition has only grown. She always has the most comprehensive preventive plan of anyone around for her well visits. She touches on many aspects of people's health, from wear your sunscreen, to managing your stress, to making sure you get your activity in, and a million other things. And so it's always a pleasure to precept her in that way. She expanded her knowledge, I think, in this area through the integrative medicine certification, which focuses a lot on what we can do ourselves to improve our health. And then she's been able to bring that to her patients, and I think will continue to grow in that area. I could not be more delighted that after seriously considering moving out west, Angela has decided to stay here with Hunterdon and will be practicing outpatient family medicine at Hickory Run. So we are super psyched with that decision. So thank you to all her family members who gently persuaded her that that might be a good idea. Congratulations, Angela. She has too many people who need to honor her.
The next graduate that I would like to call up is Dr. Colleen Little and her physician honoree, Dr. Carla Jarvis. We were really fortunate that Colleen found us when she was looking for a residency program to pursue her family medicine residency education. She came to us and joined us as a second-year resident and seamlessly became part of the Hunterdon Family Medicine residency community. She's worked very hard in the 2 years to do many of the things that our first-year residents do as far as the requirements for graduation. So I feel like she's had to put 3 years of residency into 2 years, and she's doing it amazingly. In preparing for today, I had looked back at Dr. Little's personal statement and found some beautiful excerpts in there. She had said, "It is said our truest passions arise in childhood. As I think back to my predilections of childhood and the moments that led me where I'm going, I remember where I'm from as an important indicator of my interests, strengths, and the positive contributions I can make to medicine. I grew up in a small town with a strong sense of community where I came to know the importance of kindness and empathy. In the winter, my siblings and I helped my mother deliver Meals on Wheels, and if we were healthy, we were allowed to walk the meal into the recipient's home, where I had my first notion of what it means to help and offer care. 5 years from now, I see myself working with 3 important principles in mind: maintaining strong relationships with patients, focusing on patient education, and contributing to research. I see myself working closely in conjunction with each of my patients by considering all the components of a person that influences their health. I hope to produce a personalized health plan that pulls from standard medicine and complementary treatments for their physical and emotional needs, including a personalized skin protection plan." She has done all those things and more with us, and I know your community will be served so well by you. She presented as well at a national conference with Dr. Meyer, the Integrative Medicine and Residency Conference in Tucson, Arizona on skincare, both preventing cellulitis as well as preventing skin cancer. Today, Dr. Lee is receiving her Family Medicine Residency Certificate, an Osteopathic Family Medicine Residency Certificate, and an Integrative Medicine and Residency Certificate. She plans to continue on with her integrative medicine training and complete a fellowship in that. Dr. Little will be joining the Vanguard Medical Group and staying in New Jersey.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And Dr. Meyer.
Next, we'd like to call Dr. Lauren Bischoff. Yeah, we like to keep you on your toes. We didn't follow the program order. So you never know who's going to be called next. So Dr. Bischoff, I have to say, is just, oh, here's her physician honoree, Dr. Cox. Illegally hugging her.
Already, I can't help it. Very good. You've been very good.
I know. I'm just teasing. So it is funny. Dr. Croft and I always love going back to the personal statements. So we do tend to do that at graduation. I think we tend to be a little sentimental. So for those who, I think everyone's aware, but so the personal statement is sort of the statement that they write when they're applying to come to your residency, and tends to be a reflection of their feelings of where they are at that point. And so it's always kind of neat to look back at that. So in her personal statement, Lauren wrote that in addition to providing medical care for her patients, she wanted to be a constant and reliable figure who they could confide in and trust. She has clearly achieved this goal. Lauren is not only a constant and reliable figure for her patients, but for all of us. She is cool and calm, even in the most challenging situations, and helps guide us towards wise and fair decisions. Everyone I talk to says what a joy and pleasure it is to work with Lauren. Residents love to work with her because she gives them the desired independence with the knowledge that she is there to support them and provide good insights into their care, but will let them do as much as they are capable of on their own. Attendings love working with her because she is incredibly smart and competent and takes full ownership of her patients. The office staff are just grateful to finally have a doctor who runs on time. Lauren is able to provide simultaneously efficient and comprehensive care of her patients, which is an almost impossible combination to achieve. I know I haven't achieved it. She does this while remaining kind and compassionate towards her patients and her colleagues. We were grateful to have her work as a chief resident with us. She always was able to provide us with very well-reasoned explanations for why a change might need to be made. Her professionalism is unmatched. In addition to her other duties, Lauren completed her integrative medicine certification while at Hunterdon, so she will be able to provide her patients with a broader array of options for their care. We are so glad that Lauren has elected to stay with Hunterdon and will be practicing outpatient family medicine in Bridgewater after graduation. Congratulations, Lauren. Next, we would like to call Dr. Laura Rule. And here she is, and her physician honoree is Dr. Lori Collier. So it's almost hard to know what to say about these graduates because they really are all just so fantastic, and I could say probably hours of just wonderful accolades for all of them. But I will tell you a little bit about my impressions about Laura. In this life, one of the greatest gifts we can receive is to be heard and understood. This is a gift that Dr. Rule gives every day to peers, nurses, and other medical staff, supervisors, and most of all, patients. She listens closely, carefully reflects the true concern, and works until a mutually agreeable plan is created and carried out. Laura is a servant leader who works to facilitate optimal solutions without taking credit for the outcome. She is soft-spoken and leads with a quiet confidence. She is not afraid to tackle difficult issues with patients, peers, faculty, or administration. In her role as chief resident, she would gently ask for clarification when there was an elephant in the room that everyone else was avoiding. If we continued to avoid the issue, which we sometimes did, she would gently bring it back around in a non-threatening manner until she finally got an answer from Dr. Croft or myself. Dr. Rule was elected Teacher of the Year by her fellow residents. Her endless patience, non-judgmental manner, clarity of thought, and approachability were given as reasons they chose her for this honor. When Dr. Rule presented grand rounds, she chose to focus on opioid addiction. There was not a dry eye in the audience as she shared a poignant patient story. Then with the audience engaged, focused on various strategies for prevention and treatment. Dr. Rule brought together multiple community agencies who are often reluctant to work together to provide the best possible presentation on resources in our county. Dr. Rule will be practicing full spectrum family medicine, including obstetrics, as a faculty member, as part of our Hunterdon Family Medicine at Delaware Valley. People are excited. Dr. Rule is a highly motivated learner who always strives to do the best for her patients. For her outstanding work as a patient advocate, Dr. Rule, in addition to her integrative medicine and family medicine certifications, is awarded an AFMRD Resident Award for Advocacy. Congratulations, Laura.
So the next graduate that I would like to call up is Dr. Paul Kang. I had the honor to meet Dr. Kang at a conference before residency, the National Conference for Medical Students and Residents in Kansas City, Missouri. Interestingly enough, we also met Dr. Laura Rule, Dr. Alex Beck, and Dr. Sarah Bay at the same meeting that year. I find it incredible that the five of us are here today to celebrate your mutual graduations and how fortunate we are that you also found us and could join us here at the residency program. Dr. Kang is truly also a quiet leader. He often will see what needs to be done and take care of it, and then come back and show you how he did it, and it's been incredible. Some of the examples that I think of are some of the patient safety presentations that he's done. He's able to capture when something's missed or a possibility of a patient safety issue before it occurs. And he's been awarded the Patient Safety Award at Hunterdon for speaking up and speaking out. And it's something that I know he'll continue to be able to do for his patients in the future. In looking at Dr. Kang's personal statement, I found some beautiful statements that he had made there as well. And he had said in his statement that the road to his decision to become a family physician had been circuitous, but left him very confident that family medicine is his life's passion. I know more than ever that I want to be in the community that I grew up in, giving back and being an advocate for my patients as a family physician. I hope my journey illustrates that I'm able to overcome adversity. I can promise you that my perseverance and work ethic will prove me to be a strong member of your residency team. And if given the opportunity, I would love to make you proud as your resident and future family physician. We are incredibly proud. Paul was, and the senior class, the third year class, they really had an opportunity to work with the hospital as we made a journey becoming a high reliability organization. And the idea behind a high reliability organization is that you empower everyone to speak up so that safety is everyone's commitment, and you remove some of the hierarchies that potentially prevent people from speaking up. And this is something that the class took seriously, that they were really able to make significant change. And I found Paul to be one of the doctors who was very instrumental in being able to do that and speak up at the hospital-wide meetings that we had. He also pulled together the poster for the class of that patient safety. I think you all did, but my understanding, I believe, is that he did the lion's share of the work on this, and it really is an impressive poster speaking on how this class has made significant change. So Dr. Kang, he's a quiet leader and a true advocate of the program and for those that he works with. He's also the one that makes sure that we always remember Risa, Rhonda, and the others that we work with, and I think that's a very special feature as well. Today, Dr. Kang is earning his family medicine residency certificate, and we're excited to see him move on and start his own private practice in Edison, New Jersey. That's an incredible task to undertake, and we wish you the best. Congratulations. I forgot to mention how much we enjoyed when we went to virtual conferencing that Dr. Kang's children would occasionally join us on the conferences. And so I feel we should give them honorary certificates for conference attendance. So here we are. I'd like to call Dr. Alex Beck and your physician honoree, Dr. Jigar Patel. So, as I had mentioned, I had met Dr. Beck as well during a medical student conference in Kansas City, Missouri, and I think future wife Sarah at the time, who's here with us today as well, and knew at the time that the team that we had seated at that dinner table was a team that we wanted to see again here at Hunterdon. In Dr. Beck's personal statement, he said, "From childhood to medical school, I have worked toward the betterment of community by caring for others. I believe family medicine residency will allow me to realize that vision of a career, caring for others, which I have been cultivating since childhood. The people and community I served over the years have given me the opportunity to establish the loyal and compassionate care necessary for fruitful doctor-patient relationships. These clinical experiences with which I have supplemented my medical education illustrate my unique preparedness for residency. I hope to expand my knowledge and skills during residency through health maintenance in community clinics, inpatient service, and outreach programs. Family medicine residency will give me the tools necessary to reach my utmost potential in helping others, and I cannot wait for this chapter of my life to begin." We're excited to be able to continue this chapter in both your education and ours. Dr. Beck has also been very outspoken in patient safety, and he is the second resident in our residency program to also have won a patient safety award for speaking up. Everyone in the program does, but Dr. Beck does it in a very special way, and will continue to speak up and ensure that he's heard. So he was awarded the Patient Safety Award in 2019. He was also awarded a prize in the medical center's Halloween holiday costumes for the tired president. And those awards are also quite important. He recently was sent a Caught in the Act award for stepping up when a colleague became ill, and he just stepped in without a second thought or concern. Dr. Beck as well went to Camp Najeda, volunteered as a psychic here. We were fortunate to have 2 EMTs, emergency medically trained physicians in that class who were ready to do that and really stepped up. Dr. Beck is joining the family medicine residency program as a faculty member, and he'll be seeing patients at Hunterdon Family Medicine in Delaware Valley. He's getting his family medicine residency certificate, and he is also the recipient of the Society of Teachers in Family Medicine Resident as Educator Award in recognition of his continued work to improve residency education. And he is currently enrolled in the STFM Residency Faculty Fundamental Certificate Program. Congratulations, Alex. Yes, thank you. The next part of our graduation ceremony is where our senior residents have the honor of welcoming our first year residents in a white coat ceremony. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dr. Beth.
Thanks for coming, everyone. So we're not the only class of 2020 here. We have another class of 2020 sitting to my right. Just graduated medical school, so I want to congratulate them. And so, I mean, we're blessed here to, be a part of, their new career as a physician. It's a huge deal. For the past 4 years in medical school, they've been wearing this waist-high white coat. It's kind of like a hierarchy in a way, but we don't really view it that way here at Hunterdon. It's just a kind of a old tradition in medicine. And they've been aspiring to be worthy of the knee-high upgrade. So here at Hunterdon, we see the white coat ceremony right now as a metaphorical passing of the torch or changing of the guard. And as the only residents at Hunterdon, we wear these coats with a special sense of responsibility to our community. But before I call up my fellow graduates to help don the white coats onto the new interns, I wanted to briefly share the history of the white coat and this tradition. The white coat's meaning has actually evolved over the years. Most people still consider it to be this main symbol of physicians, even more than stethoscopes. So you might be surprised to actually hear that doctors didn't always wear white. Until the 19th century, doctors actually wore black garb for many practical reasons. Back then, patient encounters were actually considered formal matters. Clergymen also wore black, as did nuns who were the first nurses. Black coats also conceal the color of blood, which was convenient as well, more than white coats, which are more unforgiving. And according to many medical historians, seeking medical advice at that time was actually considered a last resort, as much of medicine involved the quackery of unsuccessful cures. But by the 20th century, with the advent of antisepsis, established the patient-doctor relationship as a more beneficial encounter. And this was reflected in the purity of the physician's white coat. So our incoming interns are quite familiar with this level of dedication. After all, they just completed the equivalent of their 20th grade, which is a huge deal. So you can dispose of those sweat-stained, short medical student coats now and replace them with these long white coats, which you will undoubtedly find yourself sleeping in like a Snuggie at some point, with snacks conveniently stored in the pockets during your long night shifts. Or at least that's what I did sometimes. More importantly though, they symbolize the respect and trust you will earn from your patients through your compassion. So congratulations. And so the first pair that I want to call up is Denise Williams. She graduated from SUNY School of Medicine, and she'll be done the white coat by Dr. Lauren Bischoff. So I'll call it the new attendings first, I guess. So Dr. Dennis Guest, if you can come on up. And he'll help coat Sarah Sharabi, and she graduated from Rowan School of Medicine. Dr. Paul Kang. He'll help coat Shivanji Patel from Rowan School of Medicine. Next is Dr. Angela Lee. She'll be coating Jessica Montes of Stony Brook School of Medicine. And Colleen Little, Dr. Colleen Little. She'll help coat Dr. Andrew Collada of Philadelphia College of Medicine. Finally, Dr. Laura Rule, my future coworker. She'll be coating Dr. Lauren Flake of Toro College of Medicine.
So to the class of 2023, welcome to Hunterdon. So this will formally conclude our graduation ceremony. To our graduates today, you pass yet another milestone on what I hope will be a long list of accomplishments on your medical careers. You are no longer residents, but are now truly colleagues. Remember your Hunterdon family fondly, and know that you are members of a very distinguished group of Hunterdon graduates. Congratulations.
Don't forget your baskets. And watch for the